What else is out?
Patti Cakes. So Sundance favourite with the star-making turn by Danielle McDonald. So this is written and directed by Jeremy Jasper, and you may have seen the posters for it. There's been quite a lot of interest in it. She plays Patricia Dombrowski, who's living in New Jersey, has a very downbeat existence. She's got very hand-to-mouth kind of life. She's got a hard-living ex-rocker mum, played by Bridget Everett, wheelchair-bound grandmother, Kathy Moriarty, and she's dealing with the day-to-day torment of being called Dumbo by people in the neighborhood. However, in her dreams, she is this massive rap star, and she's wowing audience. The very first time, the way the film opens is there's almost like this fantasy sequence, which is almost like an alien landing sequence with these sort of green lights and haze, and she comes out in front of the crowd and everybody goes mad. The dreams are shared by Jerry, who's her best friend, who works in the local drugstore, but also imagines himself as a rapping MC. Then one evening, they go to an open mic night, and they see this guy who describes himself as an antichrist, who performs one song which basically consists of him screaming, "Wake up sheep, wake up sheep, wake up sheep." And they decide that they're going to form a band together, and they form a band together called PB&J. He turns out that he's very good with sampling and all that electronic stuff that none of us understand, and the next thing you know, they appear to have a gig, sadly, at the local strip club. Here's a clip.
So I hustled him into booking us, PB&J, in 3 weeks for a record release show at Cheaters. Bam! I'm a baller.
Really, Jer? It's a bar.
It's PG-13, bikini tops, boy shorts, totally family friendly.
Yeah, but we only got one song.
So we go all in. You have notebooks full of songs, Pete. How badly do you want this?
Real bad.
Exactly. So we record our asses off. Then we wallpaper the town with flyers, and then we kill the show. Man, once the buzz spreads, this dump is in the rear view on a highway to greener pastures, baby.
What do you think, Nana?
My calendar's pretty empty.
That's what's up.
So basically, they have these dreams of kind of achieving some level of superstardom. And the thing that the film does really nicely is it balances, on the one hand, the sort of grim, downbeat, day-to-day reality of the central characters' lives, with, on the other hand, this possibility that something might happen to break them out of that. And there's a scene very early on in which she gets involved in a sort of street rap battle, which you think is going to be toe curling, and it isn't. What it does is you think, okay, I can just about buy into the idea that, that her rhymes are good enough to take her beyond where she is. And then as the story goes on, firstly, the songs that they record, and there's a very, very good recording sequence when you see them doing the stuff, putting it together on a computer, and actually it is done very convincingly. Firstly, the songs start to, they're like earworms. They start to sort of, work their way into you. More importantly, you find yourself absolutely starting to root for these underdog characters. Partly because the relationships between them are so well defined. You do believe in Patti, in the relationship that she has with her mum, who is somebody who used to be a rocker and at one point recorded an album and is embittered by the fact that she keeps saying, look, we look like sisters, when in fact they don't look like sisters. And you believe in them, and you believe in them just enough that as they start to attempt to find some kind of success, you really start rooting for them. And it moves from being something which is a sort of a weird little offbeat musical drama into something which has a sort of a feeling of air-punching triumph. And the really clever thing is, do you remember School of Rock, which you really love, School of Rock, yeah? One of the great things about School of Rock is that it understands that in order to make the victories work, they have to work in the real world. And this is a film which understands that.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I'm trying to tread nimbly around a plot here. It understands that if you simply have a rags to riches story, it probably won't run true. The stories that run better are stories which move from point A to point B in a way that you think that could realistically actually happen. Fantasy never quite takes over from reality. You never quite lose track of the fact that they're probably on a hiding to nothing. You never quite lose it. And as a consequence of it, you end up believing in the characters, you end up believing in the characters' relationships, and you root for them all the more. And I left the film with a huge smile on my face. It really, really won me over. And it's charming, and it actually does have an awful lot of that charm that School of Rock does. And I think you'd really like it as well, because because the putting the music together sequences seem convincing.